Namaste, friends. So moving further on to what is actually running our lives, and is it leading us to flourishing, to thriving, or are we just getting by, running to and fro from the pain pleasure principle, feeling like we got a big win? If we hit the bell today for a feeling of pleasure and I got what I wanted, the principle of getting what I wanted, or are we moving down the path of trying to just get rid of pain? I want to just get this done. Well, that takes us further down the path of understanding. Many people can start to feel guilty, wrong or bad, when it comes to taking responsibility for the health of the physical body. See, becoming truly a creator, we move along the path that we will have to take responsibility for 100% of what is occurring within our field. And our material body is in our field. And we need to understand this conundrum that can seem paradoxical in what does it mean to really take responsibility for my physical health. If I have a pain in my body, or if there's been a diagnosis of some sort, that how do I step out of this blame, judgment, division of self? Well, the answer really is in that question. And that the answer is in the question because I want you to understand that the only way that we're going to grow, that we're going to expand, that we're going to evolve and flourish is we have to also see that guilt. We have to also see the division and the judgment. Because, my friends, when we are able to come into a space that we can allow ourselves to see that guilt, that's the same vibration. That's the same force behind disorder or dis-ease. See, a lot of times to get out of the pain of accepting responsibility, because our tendency is to go into division, judgment, and blame. Because of that tendency, well then that dis-ease, that disorder, that which has been manifested is like the golden book of answers that's been handed to us to say, look at how you're responding to what it means to take responsibility for this. Look at how you're responding. Are you judging yourself? Are you blaming yourself? Are you shaming yourself? Are you putting yourself down? And remember guys, everything is energy. Dis-ease is energy, disorder is energy, and health, vitality, and vibrancy is a frequency. One is a lower frequency than the other. One is a much more disordered vibration leading to a lower frequency, or one is a more stabilized vibration that leads you to a higher frequency of vision. So when I'm able to raise that, when I'm able to stabilize that, well, how do I stabilize it? Well, this is how dis-ease, pain, and the things that we see as, that we don't care for, pushing it out, it's in that moment that acceptance has meaning for you. It'll start to have meaning because it's in that place of going, wait a minute. Okay, trigger. What is that trigger? That trigger is my vibration is very disordered, it's unstable. What vibration am I speaking of? Thought world. The way that I'm thinking about this, and the way that I'm viewing this, and the way that I'm thinking about this is a disordered way of viewing it, so that my vibration, my energy field can become very disordered. Instead, though, I go, I see you. I see what's happening. That is the old pattern. That's the old habits. See, habits of the material body, and the way that our material body thinks, moves, breathes, the way it all functions. For most of us, it has become a habit. And of course, we're going to have some involuntary movements, like we want our heart to be in the habit of beating. However, does it beat well? Is the rhythm of the heart following a pattern of a vibration that's disordered, arrhythmic, or is the rhythm of the heart rhythmic? Can I raise my frequency, my heart beat faster, and I can, boom, bring it right back where I want it again? All of that expands into our field as the same behavior. The thing is, though, is that most people have habits in the physical body that are divisive. They are disorderly. They're disease-provoking. And the way I'm going to need to respond to that is I'm going to bring a different order and way of viewing it. So I've got to see the trigger. I can see that trigger as a catalyst, or I can see it as a judgment that takes me down. You have to choose. This is why not everybody's really ready often for this blame versus accepting responsibility as cause. Not a lot of people. We're talking, you're probably a very small percentage in the world that's really ready to see this. But to be able to see it, I can then go, wait a minute, I'm a catalyst. But this is why we want to train our physiology through breath-aligned movement. And from breath-aligned movement, we want to get our mind starts to come in order to where we can go, seeing. And hence the purpose for and the importance of the heavy training on meditation in this, because we've got to get the mind in order with the breath body, in order with the physical body, to be able to move into that higher place of acceptance and to unpack what that really means. Acceptance consists of two principles. One is tapas, discipline. Discipline is not punishment. To the blaming mind, one sees discipline as punishment. To the upper level, where our body is aligned with breath, aligned with mind in this synergistic way, see, the opposite of acceptance is punishment. I'm going to look at myself. I'm going to look at this diagnosis. I'm going to look at this disorder that I've created in my life, or this whatever it is that's going on. And through the old pattern of what I've learned, I'm going to look at that. And punishment is simply division. It's a habit that is ingrained in many people's physical cellular structure of punishment and division, that is judgment of the mind swimming through breath body. So from mind, judgment, moving through breath body, moving to physical body, and nervous system reacting back into the old cortisol, norepinephrine, into that back old way, which created the disorder in the first place. I have to be able to hear the truth of what's occurring, the truth being, I move into my higher state of being and I accept full responsibility as cause. As cause means I also have the power to move into the dynamic of healing and of healing all frequency bands of my field. I have the ability, I have the power to, and we all do, we have the power of healing. Now, defining healing is something that we'll be talking about at another time. But being able to move into that healing, and then from there, from that space, number one, trigger, I become a catalyst for that energy through acceptance. From acceptance is coming into and away from punishment to discipline. Discipline is to be a disciple in this field of my being. Because disciple is also devotion. It's a form of love. It aligns with the threefold order of the soul, which is love, light, and the deep desire for life, which means a deep desire to grow and evolve. And then from there, from that space, then I shift to my next step, which for many of you that are familiar with Vichara, you're moving into the fourth, which the fourth stage or the fourth step in that is that then we're able to look toward our expansive nature, us Me is aligned with the universe. Me is a soul on a mission. You know, I've got to align with whatever I am here to do in the bigger picture, and remember that no matter what's going on in Triggerland, I catalyze it because I remember, what does my soul aligned mission have to do with any of that? I've got a job to do. I've got work to do. I matter. My presence matters. I'm of value, and I need to get after it. And so from there, it's in that space that for me, often I align myself with the universe, and I'm like, dear universe, I am ready for the undoing in any of all perceived issues. Any and all perceived blocks, knots, karma, I am ready for the undoing of these things. I open myself fully and completely. All that is mine by divine right is now released. It reaches me now under grace, under a total state of flow. It is all undone now. As I align myself fully, I release the need for any darker or lower frequencies. I align myself fully. And then in that place, because we're talking about shifting our state from that state of mind, I then come to appreciation. I need to appreciate, value, and through that, I increase my worth as I perceive it to myself. All right, my friends, you can do this. There's always more, but we need to work with each step with love, with an open heart, with deep forgiveness and mercy. And really what we're accepting and what we're having mercy for is this human being that has a spirit of innocence within us that is there, that is pulsing, that is always vibrantly alive. And we are aligning with that and having empathy for this human journey, having empathy for the fact that we're a walking bag of nerve endings that are gonna experience pain. And we're gonna experience pain when it comes to getting out of our comfort zone. I will not grow without pain. I will not step out of my comfort zone without pain. To move into and from this concept of self I've been carrying around for however long, to move into the next step or the expanded concept of self, it's gonna be uncomfortable. And for that, my friends, my brothers, my sisters, we are in this together. It has been said that as we interact with one another in communion and with deep love and with edified minds of staying focused on our mission, the groups that come together, our group, this container, this community, we are all walking each other home to the truest nature of our being, arm in arm to the truest nature of our being, that spirit of innocence, the spirit of love that we all are. Lean into each other. Share your questions after these or your comments. Lean into one another. You are surrounded by a group of edified minds that are all seeking to remember their own innocence. We're all dealing with these same pains. We're all dealing with the fact that we screw up sometimes. We screw up. Our human nature will screw it up sometimes. We will mess it up. Because we want to really see that the human aspect of our being has an innocence in him, in her, in them. That is the instrument, the vehicle to which you learn mercy. You learn love by up-leveling the relationship with yourself, up-leveling the relationship with all aspects of your being and all aspects of your consciousness. We must invite one another because we're all in our own galaxy, right? And so with that, it expands out and we become this beautiful multiverse of possibility. Because you know what? When we're doing that, we're living aligned with the very mission of the universe, of the multiverse. Our soul, our very being, the very highest nature of our being, even lying beyond beyond this experience of soul, even beyond. Our nature is to expand, is to be the love we are, to be the light that we are, and to live the desire to expand into life. This is the threefold order of the soul: love, light, and life. Love, light, and life. I believe in you. I believe in you as I believe in my own self, capital S self. I know where I'm headed, and I know where we're all heading. You've got this. Stay the course. Remember, go back to courage activation again and again, especially as you start moving into this flourishing step of moving beyond surviving to thriving, to flourishing, because to see the trigger requires courage. It requires our ability to see it and not judge it, not divide from it, not shame, but to catalyze it, to catalyze and to raise it to where you can transmute it into a vision of something that is real. It's like moving from the base of the mountain to suddenly elevating yourself to the peak. Namaste, friends. Big heart.